It doesn't matter if the world is going mad, if we just hold on, if we just hold on, yeah. Sing it louder just to let the world know.
Nice!
Good!
Yes.
Woo! Just run off and go. Are you ready to smash your fears?
Inaction breeds doubt and fear. Action breeds confidence and courage. If you want to conquer fear, do not sit home and think about it. Go out and get busy. Dale Carnegie. What's going on, everyone? Dustin here with another life lesson video. The intense video clips you saw at the beginning came courtesy of our church's annual youth winter retreat. The theme of the weekend was No Fear, as we had incredible testimonials from our past campers turned adult chaperones. And then our youth truly showed no fear as they opened up in small group discussions with their peers and adults alike about what their fears actually are. One of the last activities of the weekend is what you saw in the video clips, where everyone had written their fears on a ceramic tile on the first night. Then, after a weekend of sharing, learning, and encouraging one another, we shared in Holy Communion, and then, knowing that God is for us and our future, we left our fears there behind us. Better yet, we crushed our fears. It was an incredible weekend, and there were some key takeaways I wanted to share with you all from the weekend, as well as other things I've learned. 1, everyone has fears and insecurities, especially when it comes to the future. No matter how hard we try to portray life as perfect on social media or out in public, everyone is carrying around some extra proverbial baggage that is weighing on them. At the retreat, I literally had a 13-year-old tell me he's scared because he doesn't know what his exact future is going to be. Don't worry, I set him straight when I told him, "Kid, I'm 38 and I still worry about my exact path to the future." But that's not to say that we shouldn't explore our hopes and dreams for the future and its possibilities. In the last video, I hit on the fact that we shouldn't let the fear of failure stop us from pursuing our dreams, and that's still so true. In an episode of Netflix's Queer Eye, Karamo is quoted as saying, "Failure is an opposite of success. It's a part of it." In one of her coaching sessions in her Take Control of Your Life audiobook, Mel Robbins points out to a client that when we formulate a plan for what we think is our dream scenario, plan A, our journey usually doesn't end up on plan A, or plan B, or C, or even D, E, F, G. Sometimes it's plan W when we get to a point in our lives where we find the things that make us feel like we're living out our purpose and passion. Heck, I have over 20 years of customer service experience in various positions, from selling ads to making coffee or delivering mail, before finding where I'm at now, training, coaching, and speaking to people in ways to find greatness in their lives. I'm happy and passionate about it now, but it still might not be where my plan ends. And that can be scary to think about. Which leads me to my next thought. Our incredible testimonials that were given expressed how these individuals relied on God and trusted in Him with His plans for their life. Also not easy to do, but they cited what they viewed as proof of God not just in Scripture, but in the form of friends and family in their lives. You see, because these intelligent young individuals realized that everyone has fears, they broke through the barrier of being afraid to tell someone what worries, bothers, or hurts them. They are able to feel more normal because their friends or family are able to relate to them when the person they confide in shares their own issues. Suddenly, they went from feeling all alone to having an instant support system where they can help one another. Not only are they able to get support, they're able to lend support. Ecclesiastes 4 verses 9 through 12 says, "Two are better than one because they have a good return for their labor. For if either of them falls, the one will lift up his companion. But woe to the one who falls when there is not another to lift him up. Furthermore, if two lie down together, they keep warm. But how can one be warm alone? And if one can overpower him who is alone, two can resist him. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly torn apart." One final thought observed both from this weekend and Mel Robbins. We let our fear make things too big. The 13-year-old worried because he didn't know his future? Too big. He's got all his teenage years and a whole lot of self-discovery ahead before he's got to worry about who he is going to be as an adult. You have a big test for school or certification for work and you're afraid of what's to come if you fail? Thinking too big. Worried about the big game before tip-off, kickoff, or first pitch? Thinking too big. Afraid you're not going to have anything to say on the first date or going to say the wrong thing at the job interview? Too big, too big, too big. Do you know how to tell when you're letting your fear take control in these situations? When you feel some sort of physical reaction like a pit or butterflies in your stomach, an ache or knot in your chest, a lump in your throat, welling of tears in your eyes, or clammy and sweaty hands. Those are all indicators, and there's many more that if you pay attention to them, you can slow things down and focus on the moment at hand, keeping your fear at bay. When we focus too much on the big picture or the end result, we let the moment get too big. Focus on the present, the small decisions, steps, and actions you can take that will help make the final picture be the way you want it to be. Study a little more or make flashcards for that big test. Focus on your preparation and the little things you can do in the game which will take care of the end result. Find out more about the company you're interviewing for and ask your date more questions about them, and then pay attention to those questions and those answers. You get what I'm saying? There's no point focusing on the end result when you still have the present to go through to get there. Your fear tries to speed things up and make the moments too big. But one of the best ways to slow things down and not think too far ahead or too big is to meditate and or pray. I'm not talking some deep dive into Zenhood or running to your nearest church. Just simply find yourself a little space. Take a few moments to catch your breath, acknowledge your fear, and then release it. Then you can get back to focusing on the moment at hand. Our future and what we want out of it isn't going to happen overnight. We will get there by making small decisions and taking action each day. Little decisions make for big results. Don't let your fear stop you in your tracks. Take a moment to acknowledge it. Then break your fear. Then keep moving forward and step up to greatness.
Chum!
Smash those fears.